So in this one, we are going to break down the stats after the 8-1 victory versus Tennessee versus Texas. Oh, dear country. So this is going to be after the 5 interception game. Just a little bit. There we go. So after that 5 interception game, this is going to be the stats. The stats that I'm going to show you against our opponents. Those are included. So this is even with Goff's shit game. So let's start with what we have at the top of this list, which I'll have on the screen for you, which is total first downs. As you can see, with opponents, we're roughly dead heat, right in the middle, even. We have 4 first downs more than any of our opponents versus us, and that's kind of how this is going to go. This will be versus all the opponents that we versed so far. This is on NFL.com's stats section. So anybody can just go look this up, NFL.com. That's where I got my information. If you take these first downs and you break them down, you'll start to see where our strengths are and why it's important that they're where they're at. Before I break it down, just let's remember, any good football team, at least any good play action football team, if you're running play action, which Detroit runs play action more than everybody, you have to have a good running game, right? And we all know about our two-headed monster, as they call it. The Sonic and the Knuckles going in. You know what I'm saying? We know this. So it's no surprise that when you look at the rushing first downs, it's 74. That's roughly a third of our first downs come from rushing. We rush for the first down. A third of the time we get a first down. That's awesome. Our teams, not so much, less than a third. They can get a first down less than half the times they're rushing the ball, which, if you're rushing a first down, you're probably not going to get a first down. But you might on second. You may only need a yard on third down. You just get that quick yard. Pow. The Lions are that kind of team, all right? So when we look at first downs compared to our other team, they're getting a lot of their first downs from penalties. We only got 13 from penalties. We're getting some penalties, okay? 13 first downs from penalties. We've given up 28 first downs. So we're giving up some rough penalties. There's a lot of them in the secondary. So let's see. What else we got? Oh, let me just mention the passing. It's roughly even with our opponents. They got a little more. And when you have a good enough running game, they'll get you a first down. Your passing attack doesn't have to necessarily get you there every single time. It's going to be your bulk. You're going to get most of your first downs, obviously, from passing the ball. But if you can get a nice chunk, like there's 74 to 103. 1/3 of the time that we're getting a first down that has nothing to do with the penalty, we're getting it with the run. That's damn good. Third down conversions, 44 out of 100 compared to our opponent's 32. So we're winning there. We're getting our first downs on third down sometimes, more than our opponents, obviously. And if you look, that's almost half the third downs we get. That's pretty good. We're over 50% on our fourth downs. We're like 60% compared to, our opponents getting, 45% or something. 40%, whatever that equals out to. So total offensive yards, we should be ahead, which we are. We have 3,300 to 3,100. You ain't got to be blowing them out in yards if when you get your yards, they're meaningful. They get you the first downs. They get you into the red zone, which we're top 5 in the red zone right now. What's it say? So if we look at our total offense, you want to break down our total offense? We've had 562 plays this season compared to our opponents who have ran 587 plays against us. So we're down about 25. I think it is 25. Yeah, 25 plays, and yet we've outscored our opponents 35 touchdowns to 17 touchdowns. That's twice as much with 20 less plays. Okay, that's crazy numbers. 5.9 yards per play on offense on average. Just crazy. Our opponents are still getting 5.3, so they're still moving. We're still needing a little help defensively. And I think now that we have somebody who can actually get after the quarterback, and now that we picked up Ladarius Smith, I don't see any way that we're not going to get those numbers to jump up now. We should be able to get after the quarterback a bit. It's not going to be more. I don't think it's going to be more affecting our rushing defense. I think our rush defense is pretty good. You really can't run on us. If you look at our total yards rushing, 1,326 to 907. We're doing pretty good. I mean, we got 420 yards more rushing than our opponents do. So we have what they have plus another half of what they have added on top of it rushing. Now, if you can do that to your opponents, if you're getting 4.7 yards per carry, I mean 4.4 is not. A really good run defense will probably shoot you more closer to 4 than 4.5, but like a stellar run defense. But we're not bad. 4.4 is not bad, especially if we're getting 4.7 ourselves. And with the total yards, 280 times we've ran that ball and still have that kind of average. That's good, dude. That's good. So that's our total offense. I don't know why they would put the total offense before the passing yards on the stats, but let's take a look at the passing. We don't have as many yards as our opponents. They're in the air all the time. They can't run against us, so that ball is always sailing, and it's always out there. And that's half the reason why our turnover ratio is so good. But we have 179 to 240, and I think at the numbers, it's like 70% passing. We have 9 intros for Goff and 8.6 yards per pass, which is better than our opponent's 7. They have 13 interceptions. So we're winning that by, 4? And then I think we've gotten some defensive turnovers, fumbles, and stuff like that. But we're 70% to our opponent's like 60-something. So we're accurate. And we are disruptive at the same time on defense. Goff's been sacked 19 times. We've committed 24 sacks on our team against other quarterbacks. And that's not even, and that's mostly, and not mostly, but a third of that is Aiden Hutchinson. He's about a third of that, roughly. And now that we have Ladarius Smith, I think we should be able to add a few more to that number. I'm hoping. Come on, Z. Of course, you have your immaculate right now field goal kicker, which I'd like to look at some stats as far as that's concerned. Let's see some player stats. Let's look at the kickers. All right, let's look at field goals. 9 kickers right now that haven't missed any field goals. Now, there's only one of them that's got over 10 kicks, and that's Jake Bates. So that's our field goal guy, our angel in disguise. Our opponents have missed 3 field goals, one of them being which would have been put it into overtime possibly had they made that field goal at the end of their next to last grab of the ball there in Texas. And just look at those touchdowns, dude. Look at the touchdowns, my lord. Red zone efficiencies. It's good, dude. We get there enough times that where our numbers are at. Matter of fact, let me pull that back up. So this is teamrankings.com. Red zone scoring percentage, touchdowns only. Detroit's number 5. It's total. It's 63 so roughly 64%, which is right around where Carolina's sitting, Arizona sits. Decent. Tampa Bay even better. Cincinnati towards the top. Baltimore, dude, ridiculous, dude. So yeah, don't let us get the ball in the red zone. It would not be good for you. But 35 touchdowns. When you can run the ball as efficiently, stop the other team from running. Can you imagine? With an efficient offense like this and a defense that's just so consistent lately. The only thing that's our glaring negativity is the fact that we lost Aiden. That's 7.5 sacks on the season before he went down. And, from the looks of it, everything's going to be okay with him. So, thank God for that. But now we have Ladarius Smith, he's no Aiden Hutchinson, but man, he's gonna definitely bring an uplifting feel to that Detroit, or that depleted Detroit defensive line. Lee McNeil needs a little breather. He's been putting in a lot of work. I mean, all them guys, Pascal, everybody. There's a bunch of guys with 2 sacks right now, so we can't be mad about this. So let's break down those touchdowns. 15 rushing. 15 rushing touchdowns. To our opponent's 9. So we have 6 more rushing touchdowns compared to our opponents. When you're doing that to your opponents, every game you have almost 1 more rushing touchdown than they do. We played 9 games. They have had 9. We've played 9 games. We've had 15 in those 9 games. What does that put us at? 6. So that puts us at. There's only. That would, on average, that puts you at 3 games with 1 touchdown, and 6 games with 2 touchdowns. So we outscore our opponents 2 out of 3 times in rushing touchdowns by 1, like by double. We double their rushing touchdowns. Can you imagine how debilitating and demoralizing this is for a team? And you run it right down their defense's throat. And then we have, what's this? 18 passing touchdowns to our opponent's 7. That's almost 3 times. That's 2.5 times as many passing touchdowns. They can't score on us, and we're scoring relentlessly on them. That's why we're just crazily outscoring these people. Our defense just stays like a brick, dude, like a solid brick. It don't move. We've had 1 return, and we've had 1 defensive touchdown returned. And somebody did run a pick 6 back on Jared once. I think it was Jared, pretty sure, yeah. But our ratio's 8. We have a +8. Dude, let me see turnover ratio. I gotta see the stats on that. So the Lions have 13 interceptions. We're just below the Vikings. That's crazy, dude. We got some dogs out there grabbing the balls up, bro. The Texans too. I mean, fuck, well, they got 5 last game from Goff. They had 8 before that. So that would have put them down here. Around where the Bears and Colts and Falcons, like right in the middle of the pack somewhere. You're welcome. Okay, so we are right up there. +8. The Buffalo Bills defense this year, I don't know what they're doing over there. What are they feeding them boys over there? I have no clue. No clue, dude, but it is delicious, apparently. +13 in the turnover ratio is good. Chargers are +9, Steelers +9, Bears. Listen, these are all defensively known teams. The Bears, the Steelers, the Chargers, the Bills, and you got the Lions in there with them. You know what I'm saying? Right up in there with them. The Bears don't have the greatest record, but they've always been a good defensively run team typically. They're just not getting any damn points anymore. But anyway, so the Lions are up there +8. So that we're tied for 3rd right now in the league in takeaways. That's just crazy to me. That is just crazy to me. So many of these ratios are good. Now, I want to go over a few stats with you that I thought were just crazy funny, dude. Okay, so the one stat that stands out that you'd be like, what? And you can thank Ben Johnson for this is we have 4 people on our team right now that have threw a pass in the NFL. 3 of them have a pass rating of 104.4 or higher. 1 of them has a 135.4, and he's not even a quarterback. Think about that. You know who I'm talking. If you watch, you know who I'm talking about. So who are the 4 players who have a passer rating? Well, Hendon Hooker's in there. He did play for a minute. His rating was pretty low. It's only sitting at a 72.9. He didn't really get to do no real action. Just kind of went in there and managed the game for a minute. But you have him. You have your number 1 quarterback in the NFL right now, Jared Goff, sitting at a 104.4 rating after 9 games. Well, after week 10 and 9 games completed, he has a 104.4 rating. Completion percentage of 71.8, bro. That's good. Good. 16 TDs, 9 interceptions, which you kind of want those 5 back from that game, dude. But Okay, we'll take it. He's human. All right, for at least one game, he's human. Then you got 3 more players. Should not be on this list. Your lowest rated quarterback in here, 118.8, is shared by 2 of the same. I don't know how they rate these guys. But you get Jack Fox and David Montgomery. Both 1 for 1. Jack Fox had 17 yards per attempt. Bro. His longest is 17. Good. That's good, Jack Fox. And then you got David Montgomery, who only had 3 yards. But it was a touchdown pass. It was a touchdown pass. I'm pretty sure it was Laporta. And then you had Amon-Ra St. Brown with his touchdown pass to Jared Goff for a touchdown. So we have 4 players with a 104.4 higher rating on our Lions team. Only one of them is an actual quarterback. And it's shared by 3 other separate positions. A receiver, a runner, and a kicker. Dude. Is there even another? I guess if a lineman threw it, I don't even know if he could touch the ball. We also have Jared Goff with a receiving touchdown. He's not in here, though. They didn't put him in the receiving. Oh, is it load more? Yeah, we load more. Jared Goff. Let me see. See, Jared Goff has more touchdowns than David Montgomery passing. He has more receiving. He has more receiving touchdowns than David Montgomery, Tim Patrick, Isaiah Williams, Allen Robinson, Soin Vaki, Taylor Decker, and Tom Kennedy. Okay, he is a better receiver right now than any of them. Actually, David Montgomery has 18 receptions for 185 yards, 10.3 per carry. He's doing pretty damn good. Jared Goff's only sitting at 7. All right. Yards per reception. Jared Goff's one of the bottom of the list. Okay, not that many. You sit down, Jared. All right. You only got 7 yards, bro. You barely scored more than the bench guys. All right, calm down. I thought that was your funky stats of the day. Your quarterback has a touchdown receiving. That's cool. I think that's kind of cool when you have those kind of little stats. That just means Dan Campbell and Ben Johnson are cooking. They cooking. And they know they got fire. They know they got all the ingredients. They got the good cookware. The stovetop's clean. They got everything, from the health food store to cook with. But they got their spices at the right spot. You know what I'm saying? When they get that good spice, it makes anything taste wonderful. You know what I mean? So there's our guys. Let's talk about our defense. Let's give it just a little shout out to the defense. So we had Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch just killing it back there. But the real hero of the day on our defense, at least the one that shined like a little diamond he was Carl Davis III with them 2. Just without those interceptions, dude, things could have been a lot different for this game. You could say that about a lot of things, but definitely those 2 came at the perfect time. I mean, Joseph's got 6 on the year. Branch has got 4. Davis he just got 2 in that game alone. Nowaski's got a 6, 10, 12. That's 13 interceptions in the year by these guys. Dude, Kirby Joseph's just a maniac, dude. A maniac out there. Brian Branch? Yeah, we need some sack help, that's for sure. We definitely need some sack help on this team. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the little 8-1 recap video. Kind of going over some of our stats against other teams, what it could mean, where it may come from, and why you should be hopeful and thankful for your new Detroit Lions. All right, so that's one pride. Go Lions, and we'll see you guys on the next one.